Serena made her debut last week and quickly won over viewers with the compassion she showed towards Charity Dingle. While passing through the area, Serena stopped to find somewhere to use the toilet, but the rustling she caused in the bushes frightened Charity. At that point, Charity had been keeping away from the village as she struggled to cope with the burden of her secrets surrounding Dr. Caitlin Todd and baby Layla. Serena gently approached Charity, who gradually realized the stranger posed no threat. The pair sat together, and Serena patiently listened as Charity opened up about everything she had been dealing with. Afterwards, Serena drove into Emmerdale, where she soon struck up a conversation with John Sugden and introduced herself to Nicola King and Claudette Anderson. Since nobody in the village had encountered this member of the Sugden family before, attention soon shifted to John Sugden, the brother of Robert Sugden, whose reckless actions had put many lives at risk. Residents were eager to find out whether Serena was aware of John's dark past in Emmerdale. When Serena admitted she already knew everything about John's actions, Sarah assumed she had only come to gather gossip. Although Serena insisted that wasn't her reason for visiting, upcoming episodes suggest otherwise, as she starts asking questions about the circumstances surrounding Nate Robinson's death. Following a conversation with Serena about Nate, Moira Dingle openly admits she doesn't trust her. Meanwhile, Mackenzie Boyd also warns Charity to stay cautious, believing Serena cannot be relied upon simply because she is a Sugden. Could their suspicions prove to be justified? It seems unlikely that Serena has an entirely innocent motive for wanting details about the man who was accidentally killed before his body was dumped in a lake. Nate Robinson vanished from the village during the autumn of 2024, with his family and friends believing he had moved to Shetland for a new job. As the months passed, Tracy Shankly and Kane Dingle became increasingly concerned after hearing nothing from him. Although Nate's relationships with both Tracy and Kane had deteriorated before his disappearance, they still expected him to keep in touch for the sake of his young daughter, Frankie. In 2025, viewers finally learned the truth about Nate's fate. John Sugden had administered medication to Nate following a confrontation with Kane, but Nate suffered a fatal reaction and died. John then disposed of Nate's body by throwing it into a nearby lake, where it was eventually discovered. The shocking revelation that John was responsible for Nate's death did not come to light until the middle of 2025. John, who first appeared in 2024, was himself killed earlier this year. In a fitting twist of fate, John died in much the same way as Nate, after being injected with a drug, suffering a severe reaction, and losing his life. Emmerdale's Bradley Riches has hinted that Lewis Barton and Kev Townsend's complicated relationship is only just beginning, following the dramatic revelation that Kev is Lewis's biological father. The unexpected twist left Lewis reeling, as he had no idea the man who recently reappeared in the village was actually his real dad. Rather than bringing the pair closer together, the truth has created confusion, anger, and plenty of unanswered questions, setting the stage for an emotional storyline in the weeks ahead. Kev made his dramatic return while Lewis was trapped by Kylie, who had taken him hostage in a desperate attempt to recover an item known as Penny. As events unfolded, viewers discovered that Penny was in fact a valuable diamond that Kev had stolen from Kylie during their previous relationship. Ross eventually managed to rescue Lewis from the terrifying ordeal. However, in an effort to protect Kev, Ross falsely claimed that he had been responsible for stealing the diamond. The lie didn't last long, as Kev later arrived at the house and confessed that he was not only connected to the stolen jewel, but was also Lewis's biological father. Reflecting on Lewis's reaction, Bradley explained that his character is overwhelmed by everything happening around him. Having only recently escaped a dangerous kidnapping, Lewis is forced to process another life-changing shock almost immediately. Bradley said Lewis struggles to understand why Kev has suddenly returned after disappearing without explanation. Last year, Lewis believed he had formed a genuine friendship with Kev before he vanished from his life, leaving him convinced that Kev had simply gone back to his old criminal lifestyle. When Kev unexpectedly shows up again, Lewis is left completely baffled, especially after previously being told that Kev was serving time in prison. The actor revealed that this uncertainty develops into an even bigger emotional conflict as the storyline progresses. Despite Lewis insisting he wants nothing to do with his biological father, Bradley believes there is still hope for the pair to eventually build some kind of relationship. He explained that both Lewis and Kev are about to embark on a difficult journey as they try to understand each other and work through years of missed opportunities. According to Bradley, neither character has all the answers, meaning they will both have to learn how to navigate their new reality together. Lewis also faces an emotional dilemma because he has always viewed his adoptive parents as his true family. They raised him with love and support throughout his life, making the arrival of his biological father deeply unsettling. Bradley suggested Lewis will wrestle with feelings of guilt, questioning whether getting to know Kev somehow betrays the parents who have always been there for him. That internal struggle will become one of the biggest emotional challenges he faces. At the same time, Kev has plenty of his own obstacles to overcome. Bradley revealed that viewers will gradually learn more about Kev's difficult upbringing, helping to explain many of the choices he has made throughout his life. Although Kev has made countless mistakes, Bradley believes the character genuinely wants to become a better man. He explained that Kev is determined not to repeat the failures of his own father and hopes to build a healthier relationship with Lewis than the one he experienced growing up. Because of that determination, Bradley believes Kev has the potential to become a good father, even if the journey is far from straightforward. He warned that there will be numerous setbacks, emotional confrontations, and difficult lessons before either character finds any sense of stability. The actor also reflected on why Lewis and Kev seem to understand one another despite their obvious differences. While their personalities often clash, Bradley feels they share several important qualities. He pointed out that Kev instinctively understands Lewis's emotions, particularly because both characters have experienced feeling misunderstood and isolated. Lewis's autism also plays a role in their connection, with Kev recognizing and respecting the way Lewis processes situations and emotions. Bradley believes this shared understanding allows them to communicate in ways that others sometimes cannot. According to him, the strongest bond between the pair comes from the fact that they have both spent much of their lives feeling like outsiders. Neither has ever truly believed they fit in, and discovering someone who shares that experience creates an unexpected connection between them. Bradley added that despite all the tension and uncertainty, this common ground could eventually help father and son develop a meaningful relationship. Away from the storyline itself, Bradley also praised Chris Coggill, who portrays Kev, describing him as one of the most entertaining and supportive people he has worked with. He revealed that working alongside such an experienced actor has helped him develop his own performances, particularly because Chris approaches every scene differently and focuses on reacting naturally in the moment, rather than repeating the same performance. Emmerdale airs on weekdays at 8 p.m. on ITV1, with each episode available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.